Now I'm confident in the decisions that I make, and I don't experience the same level of stress and uncertainty. Hello, and welcome back to the Blissful Mompreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Christina Hall, and I am so grateful you're tuning in today. As a business owner, it's so easy to make decisions based on how we feel in the moment, whether that's excitement about a new opportunity or anxiety about a slow month. But what if I told you that making decisions based on gut feelings rather than actual data and trends could be holding your business back and causing you stress? Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful tools you can use to run your business confidently and strategically: financial forecasting. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about giving yourself a clear vision of your business's future so you can plan for growth, navigate challenges, and set realistic goals. In 2019 and 2022, I baby-proofed my small business to not only run without me, but to thrive without me, allowing me to take 2 4-month maternity leaves. Financial forecasting played a huge role in that process, helping me make decisions that weren't driven by stress or uncertainty, but by clear, data-backed projections. Today, I'm going to walk you through my system for forecasting and show you how it can empower you to take control of your business's financial health. Unlike cash flow management, which we discussed last week, financial forecasting is when we use historical data and trends to predict the revenue, expenses, and profit of the business for a specific period. The ability to forecast is incredibly important, as it is a way for you to set goals, make educated decisions, and plan for the future. Similarly to cash flow management, it's a way for you to keep a pulse on the financial health of your business. Before I was regularly forecasting and reviewing my numbers on a monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis, I would make decisions based on feelings instead of on hard data and trends. Now I'm confident in the decisions that I make, and I don't experience the same level of stress and uncertainty. My system for financial forecasting has evolved over the years, but currently I have 3 forecasting spreadsheets per year: an annual forecast, quarterly forecasts, and monthly forecasts. My annual forecast is a bit more in depth, whereas my quarterly and monthly are simpler. Within each quarterly forecast spreadsheet, I have a tab for each quarter, and then similarly, the monthly spreadsheet has a tab for each month. The first column has all the categories. At the top, I put revenue, and then I break that down into the various services, and I leave a row at the bottom to calculate the total revenue. Then the next section are all the expenses. On my quarterly and monthly spreadsheets, I just have the broad categories such as professional fees, team wages, event costs, operating expenses, and marketing. And then I total the expenses at the bottom of that section. At the very bottom, I calculate profit, which is simply deducting the total expenses from the total revenue. Moving to the right of the spreadsheet, the next column is all the historical data. So I pull from my profit and loss statement for the same period of the prior year, and I enter my revenue and expenses for that period. I also include a column where I calculate the percentage of our revenue that is being spent on each expense category. The next column is where I put my projections for the specific period in the current year. I review the figures from the prior year along with the figures from the last month or quarter and use that information to project our revenue and expenses. The last column is where I put what actually happens. So when I predict what's going to happen in that set period of time, I leave the last column empty. And then once that period is over, say like at the end of the month or the end of the quarter, once my books have been reconciled and I know everything is up to date, then I'll go in and I'll enter all the actual numbers in that last column so that I can then compare what I forecasted to what actually happened. I gain so many insights from doing this exercise each month. I can see if we are meeting our revenue goals or overspending in any areas. I can make strategic decisions on what to work on over the next month or quarter to grow the business. The process I follow for the annual forecast is similar. The only difference is I break down the expenses further so that I can see how much we're spending on rent, maintenance, utilities, office supplies, credit card fees, insurance, teacher wages, admin wages, Google ads, Facebook ads, the list goes on. I have a column with the historical figures from the prior year, a column with the forecasted figures, and then a column for the actual figures. I begin my annual forecast in December, but I do not finalize it until January once I have closed out my books for the year. When I begin my annual forecast, I take a look at how many team members we currently have. I also take a look at the calendar and see, is there room for growth? Is there room for us to take on new students? And if so, how much room do we have? And I use all of this information to project our revenue for the upcoming year. I also take into consideration revenue trends over the last few years to estimate how much we will likely earn. I brainstorm strategies to increase revenue over the course of the next year, whether it's introducing new programs, increasing the rates that we charge, hiring an additional teacher, renting out additional space. There's so many avenues that we can explore to increase revenue. When I forecast our expenses, I will increase most categories by about 5% to account for rising costs. I also brainstorm how I can cut expenses to maximize our profits. Once I finalize my forecast for a specific period of time, I don't make adjustments based on new information. The point of forecasting is to make predictions with the data you have and then learn from what actually happens. By comparing your forecast to the actual results, you will gain valuable insights into your business's performance. If your forecasts differed significantly from reality, that's helpful information. It shows where you need to adjust or improve your strategy. This process helps you identify trends or problem areas early so you can course correct and make more informed strategic decisions. The more you practice this, the better and more accurate your forecasting will become. Now, I want to make sure I address how to access your profit and loss statements, just in case that is something you're not familiar with, because I keep referring to profit and loss statements, and I recognize not everyone is familiar with these types of statements. So I use QuickBooks Online for my accounting software, but all accounting programs give you the option to run reports, one of which is a profit and loss statement for a specific period of time. If you are unsure how to access this information, I'd recommend either doing a quick search online or YouTube for step-by-step instructions on how to access this information. If you have an accountant or bookkeeper, they will likely know how to access these reports as well. And essentially, the profit and loss statement just kind of breaks everything down. It shows you your revenue, your expenses, and your profit. As you can see, financial forecasting is a wonderful strategic tool that can help you navigate your business with confidence and clarity. By taking the time to project your revenue, expenses, and profit, you're setting yourself up for more than just short-term success. You're building a business that's equipped to handle growth, overcome challenges, and allows you to make smarter decisions. Remember, it's not about having perfect predictions. It's about gaining valuable insights that allow you to course correct and plan for the future with less stress and more control. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope the insights I shared in this episode have inspired and empowered you to take control of your finances. If you have any questions or want to share your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. DM me on Instagram at the Blissful Mompreneur. And if you're pregnant and getting ready for maternity leave, I've created a free 6-step maternity leave planning guide. It covers everything from how much time to take off to how to create a financial plan. Just head over to Instagram and DM me the word plan, and I'll send it to you. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a fellow mompreneur who might benefit from this advice. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and leave a comment below letting me know your biggest takeaway. It helps me reach more amazing women just like you. Thank you again for being here, and until next time, keep pursuing your bliss.